Hey guys, I just want to let you know that I'm moving all of my merch over to tpublic.com. Quite frankly, their quality is much better, it lasts much longer in the washer machine, and they're much cheaper. As a matter of fact, right now, you can get any 3 of my shirts available now for 16 bucks. And I buy from TeePublics, and quite frankly, it's no contest. I've got the link in my description and in the pinned comment. Check it out. What is going on, people? It's your old pal CHH here. I'm back again. I had an idea to do this video. Sometimes I like to vet myself. When I say for you guys, you need to go region free, you need to go region free, why not put my money where my mouth is and show you a lot of the titles that I've gotten now that I am region free? And maybe it'll be more of a bargaining chip to get you to swing that way, because quite frankly, I think once you do, you'll never look back, I swear. And I'll kind of explain the benefits of it as I go through each title. And let's start with box sets, because that's something as horror fans and physical media collectors in general we love, is a good, nice box set. And what kind of box sets do we like? The kinds that have nice full discs and cases in them. And 88 Films is among the best at doing something like this. Now, this is not even all the box sets that they've put out, but they did box sets for Urban Legend and I Know What You Did Last Summer. And we'll look at I Know What You Did Last Summer as an example. Here's this really cool box set that's going to contain the 3 movies, and look at that. Solid, chunky cases the way we like them. Good art on there. They did a good job. And as you'll see, you can pull it out. It's a nice hard box from 88 Films. Great company. And you're going to get, obviously, the 3 films. I Know What You Did Last Summer, which all these look great. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. And the Always Loving, I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, which I know is just a fan favorite. But as you'll see, it's great. And in terms of features, sometimes they are better than others. It didn't look like they could get a lot of new stuff for these films. But this was a cool way to actually own these movies on physical media, because I Know What You Did Last Summer at the time was kind of difficult to get. And now it came out in 4K in America, but this is an amazing set, and still the way I pretty much watch these films, especially in here, considering that's a plasma. That's a plasma TV in here, not a 4K TV. But I do have the 4K, and it's gorgeous. And it's the same thing with Urban Legends. They did a great job. You're going to get the 3 films. And I'm actually excited to talk about this, because obviously you're going to get Urban Legend, which is a great film. You're going to get a decent little slasher, Urban Legends Final Cut. My favorite of the 3, Urban Legends Bloody Mary, directed by Mary Lambert. Amazing film. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. I think this might be the only way to have this film on Blu-ray. I could be wrong, but I love this movie, and I'm so glad I'm region free, quite frankly, just for this title. It's fantastic. I love Mary Lambert's movies, and she did a great job on this. So the 88 Films line alone is a great reason to go region free, because you're going to get some really great stuff. They did an Anaconda box set, which I might grab. I like the first Anaconda a lot, but I don't know about the sequels. But I definitely got the Urban Legend set really to get Bloody Mary, which I think is a really good movie. That's just kind of a little hidden. Speaking of 88 Films, let's jump to this. This is a movie that is still out of print. That's Ghost Town. This is a great Empire title. Not only was this a budget-friendly price when I got it, which it still is, it's retail, so not even 20 bucks. You just get it shipped in a week and a half. 88 Films is really good about shipping it. But there are great special features that are just on this release. There's great interviews with Charlie Ban on here, which is incredible. And I swear, like, it's incredible the money you'll save going region free. I can't express it enough. Great title. If you got the Scream Factory release, it's worth, I don't know, like $100 now. It's kind of lost in limbo, but it doesn't matter to me, because I have it in full 1080p from 88 Films, which is Ghost Town. Great little flick. Definitely check that out if you haven't seen it. Here's an example from a company called Eureka that I think outshines some of the releases that are in America, quite frankly. One of my favorite Stephen King films is Cujo. Now, you can get that little Blu-ray in America that we have, with boring art, or you could go get the Eureka Blu-ray for Cujo overseas, and not only that, get some incredible special features just made for this release. And fantastic stuff. There's Dee Wallace interviews on here. There's interviews with Charles Bernstein. There's a ton of special features. There's a making of on here. This is one of the most stacked releases I think I've ever had, much less Region B. And it's fantastic. You get a lot more quality in terms of presentation on this. Like I said, the artwork for that is, I think, stellar. And Eureka did it. So fantastic. Will this get an upscaled 4K or whatever in America one day and new special features? Possibly. But will it be something I upgrade? It'd be hard to want to because of how good this is. So Eureka is a great company that does a lot of good stuff. Here's another example of something that the cool thing about being region free as well is not only being able to get films that aren't available on Blu-ray in America, but get them way before. When Razorback came out on Blu-ray from Scream Factory, I was telling people you definitely want to grab that. It's a good movie. I don't need to because over a year ago, I got the Umbrella Blu-ray of Razorback, and I'm really happy with this. I don't need to buy it again. I don't need to, upscale anything. This looks just as good. And that's what I'm talking about. So being region-free also, time is money. So, Razorback saved me a lot of money in terms of time. And it's all new from a 4K master anyway. So, I remember watching this. It's like, wow, this is beautiful. How good this looked. So, and I remember I got this on Amazon in America as well. So, not only did I get it, but I got it quickly because it was shipped from America. It was Prime. So, I mean, sometimes you just can't lose being region free. So here's another example of just being able to save time. Now let's talk about one of the most sought after titles ever in the horror world on physical media, much less a high-end physical media. That is George A. Romero's all-time classic, Dawn of the Dead. Here was the standard special edition release for the film. And I got this, and it looks incredible, and it's got all the cuts of the movies on here. And being region free gave me not only the option to get this, but to not have to spend as much at the time to get this release. Because if you wanted to get the super, super high end version of this on 4K, it cost a lot of money. Anyway, it costs a lot of money, and being region free also saved me some money down the road, because when I wanted to get just the Blu-ray release of this, the standard Blu-ray release, it cost me a lot less than if I would have spent a lot more to get that nice big release. Granted, I regret it. I regret it all the time. I really liked that mega release that they did, but at the time, my wallet said, hey, I don't want to spend that kind of money, get that standard, if you will, release, which is still really like a special edition release. But yeah, so being region free also gave me the option to not only get something from overseas, but get a cheaper version of it overseas, which I think is great. And there's also different releases that you can get for Dawn of the Dead, like this beautiful German steelbook, aka Zombie, which is just, look at this. And not only is this just a cool thing to have, but yes, I can in fact watch it because I'm region free. And it's the word on the street is this, guys. For y'all that might be asking me, is Dawn of the Dead going to get a new release in America? The answer is it's very possible it couldn't, or it won't, because apparently the rights owner in America wants an arm and a leg to license it out. And it's a different rights owner overseas in terms of, I guess, physical distribution and things like that. So that's why there's much more availability over there. And that's just the way of the world sometimes, right or wrong. I know I can understand people are upset about that when they hear that. But being region free allows me to not have to worry about this rights owner in America that wants an exorbitant amount of money to license the film out. That's their prerogative. But guess what? I've got options, so I ain't got to deal with you. And in terms of other companies that have movie licenses out, one of the films that I've always wanted to own, shout out to my buddy Kyle who actually hooked me up with this, was The Dark Half. That's a title that went out of print from Scream Factory, and it's just missing. If you want to see that film, it's just missing. Oh, well, guess what? Eureka has it. And I have it, and guess what? It's an outstanding release. It's beautiful. The image is extremely crisp, and it's got really good features on here as well. There's a documentary that about George Romero on here that they brought from 1989. There's a 36-minute documentary making of. There's retrospectives with George Romero. This is a great release, and guess what? I don't have to play the bidding game on Amazon, on YouTube, on eBay if I want to get this. I don't have to play any games. I've got this. I got it overseas. I have a region-free player. I skip all the BS. So I mean, I couldn't imagine not being region-free at this point. And also, the options are out there in case you let's just say you're the kind of person that genuinely does not like Scream Factory and doesn't want to support the Scream Factory company for one reason or another. No judgment. If that's just your prerogative, well, a lot of companies like Indicator will put out a lot of the titles that they have. Like, for instance, here's Vampires. Now, that got a big Scream Factory release, but here's the Indicator release. And guess what? It's a solid release. The picture quality is just as good. And as you can see, there's some really good titles out from Indicator, like this movie Wolf, that would love to get the Blu-ray of. That's a movie that I don't think has a Blu-ray in America. But guess what? Indicator has a Blu-ray of it. Maybe it has a Blu-ray in America, but I think I would have saw it by now. Regardless, that's a great title. And Indicator is a great company that puts out a lot of good titles. So you have options there. Now, here's an example of foreign companies just doing releases for movies you may really love a lot better than what we have. For instance, here's the Scream Factory release of Road Games. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite Jamie Lee Curtis movies. It's really not a Jamie Lee Curtis movie, but my point is I really love this movie. That's all fine and dandy, right? Well, guess what? What if you're a really big fan of that film and that just doesn't cut it? Well, I think Indicator might cut it for you. Look at their release of Road Games. Now, this is a special edition release. Beautiful artwork on there. You get a booklet. You get cards. You get a poster. You get the whole kit and caboodle, and it's a gorgeous book on here. Stacy Keach, amazing actor. And then if you want special features, have a seat, buddy. Look at that. And a lot of this is only on this release. So, again, being region-free not only gives you the availability to make choices for yourself, but also, if there's a movie you really love and you feel it kind of gets, it's not good enough release in America, sometimes overseas that movie could have a bigger audience. It could be held in higher regard, and you'll see, Road Games got a really prestige release overseas, and quite frankly, this is a way better release than the Scream Factory one. And like I said, if you're a big fan, then there you go. Here are some other titles with Arrow Video, obviously them being a home-based company really overseas. Obviously they do stuff in America, but it's clear that when you think of like the thought of Arrow Video, you think of all those legendary titles that came out overseas. Well, here's an example of a beautiful release that Arrow did that's only Region B. This is their Videodrome release, and I mean, good Lord, it's gorgeous, and really nice hard box on that, and 3 booklets in here, and look at this. And the middle one's actually the book, but look at this, and it's incredible. This is like making ofs and documentaries. This is all these are. Like I said, you've got the movie, of course. Here's your Blu-ray disc for Videodrome, and like a gorgeous booklet. Now, if you want Videodrome in America, I think the company you're gonna have to deal with is Criterion. And Criterion just doesn't really make sexy releases for horror fanatics. In my humble opinion, they kind of just have their standard ways of releasing stuff, and it's not bad, but this is incredible. Look at this. If you're a Videodrome fan, Arrow Video is going to do you right. And I mean, being region-free gives me the availability to have something beautiful like this for a film that I think is one of David's best. Scream Factory put out The Howling on 4K, and it's a great release. Studio Canal, they got their transfer, but what did Studio Canal themselves do? Let's say you're a really big fan of The Howling like me. You're going to want to go with this right here. Look at this release. This is what I'm talking about. This is The Howling. And I just really like this a lot more. Being a big fan, I like to roll out the red carpet for movies I love. You've got that. You've got a poster, you've got a booklet, and unfortunately it's just like Scream Factory, they don't do this sort of thing. Look at this. The Frankenstein Complex. This is stuff that's just on Studio Canal's release, you know. So like being a big fan of a movie like The Howling, you're damn right. I want the best, and you know, I get it from Studio Canal, so that's incredible. Again, here's another title. You know, Scream Factory did Dog Soldiers. If you're a big fan of Dog Soldiers and you want a prestige release, look no further than Second Sight. This is incredible. And again, you know, I don't need to pull this out. You get the idea, but you're gonna get books. You're gonna get, and I mean a nice book. Look at this book for this thing. I guess I will pull it out. This is Field Notes, all about the movie. I mean, if you're a big fan of Dog Soldiers, and I am, a release like this is really going to satisfy you. You'll feel like you'll never have to buy the movie again. So the thing that's cool about being region-free is titles that may not get the most, you know, extensive releases in America because they're just certain titles. There are certain titles here that are obviously bigger titles. Titles like that, you know, they get the red carpet. It's really cool. Here's the last example I'll show. I am a massive fan of Children of the Corn. I've gone on record. Children of the Corn, the first, is my favorite Stephen King film. And what I really do like is the second and third sequels. I think they're really fun little horror movies. They're nothing to brag about, but they're fun little horror movies. And I love comfort horror films. Don't we all like to be comfortable? Well, if you want 2 and 3 on Blu-ray, it's kind of difficult in America. I don't think it's impossible. I think 2 might be impossible. It might have had a Blu-ray, but I know that you can get those 4-pack Mill Creek things, but I don't know if 2 is in it at all, to be honest with you. I think it probably isn't. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have owned it. But guess what? Being region-free gave me the availability to get one of the coolest kind of sets I've seen. This is the Children of the Corn trilogy set, but what's really cool is the first movie is actually in 4K because it had come out on 4K, and they decided, hey, why not just do a box set where we'll make the first one 4K since it came out that way, and then we'll throw in the sequels. So as you'll see right here, I get Children of the Corn 2 and 3, and I love Children of the Corn 2, and I really like Children of the Corn 3. And that came as a box set, and you get a really cool booklet, and you get a poster for the first film. And being region-free gives me the option to get something really cool and charming like this. And it's really forward-thinking. Hey, we'll give them the first one in 4K because most people are going to want that on 4K because we just restored it. But the sequels, there you go. So, and I got this on Amazon in America, and I got it in 2 days. As a matter of fact, I got it on my 30th birthday. I'll never forget it. So, being region-free gives me the options to get really cool stuff like that, guys. So, those are a lot of releases that I have that are region B or C or whatever, what have you. And I just wanted to show you that not only, I don't want to just say you should be it. I'm going to show you a lot of the stuff that I have that maybe would, you know, swing you like, okay, that's cool or that's cool. And there's more things I could show, but I do hope that this video was in fact helpful and shows you that, you know, not only can you get titles maybe that are on Blu-ray only over there now, but you can get titles that you feel represent how much you actually appreciate the film. Like if you're, like I said, if you're a big Dog Soldiers fan, that 4K in America, it's just like, yeah, that's nice and I'm a big fan, but this is really something, and this makes me like, this is how I want to celebrate Dog Soldiers, which is kind of a vain thing, I guess, but, you know, as physical media collectors, when we love something, we want to roll out the red carpet, and, you know, you can roll it out more if you're region free and get some cool titles and get special features that are just available over there. So there it is, guys. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please drop a comment below, and I'll do my best to answer it. I thank you guys for watching this, and I'll see you next time. Huge, giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind-the-scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.